Welcome to the August Prima User Advanced Forum. It's Andrea here, and I will be your host today. Today, we are going to be covering some of the key improvements on our latest version, which some of you may already have if you're on the beta release. Everybody else will be getting the full release in just over a week's time, so look out for the new update button, and you'll see all the latest enhancements, some of them that we're going to go through today. So I'll just share my screen. Yeah, so we're going to go through some key improvements such as our new credit control features, lots of enhancements on the till, and an improvement to our analysis reports are the main things that we'll be covering today. We've got Emma on the chat, so if you've got any questions, just hover over your chat button at the bottom. Let's try and move the central buttons at the top here. Yep, and then at the end, as usual, I'll unmute everybody and we'll open the floor for some questions. Okay, so you'll notice when you get the release, there is a new look and feel. So we've actually removed some of the grid controls and there's a lot more space on the screen. We will be using this extra space for some exciting things in the future, but you'll notice it's a fresher look and lots of space. So the first thing I want to show you is over on the invoicing area in sales invoices. We now have a payment overdue by drop down here, so we can actually filter on invoices that are overdue by a certain amount of time. So your credit terms will be set usually on QuickBooks for each individual customer, or there may be a default of 30 days terms, for example. Once the invoice goes over the terms, so if it goes over your 30 days, then it'll be overdue. And you can filter on these invoices that are overdue by X number of days. So if I want to look at all my invoices that are 30 days overdue, I'm going to click that and press the search button here. You'll see everything in the grid that is overdue by that amount of time. We can right click and export that to Excel if we want to, but now we have a new button. If we highlight these, we can actually click on the trading status button over here, which is new. And you can easily see all your companies consolidated that have those invoices that are overdue. You've got the total outstanding at the moment for each of those customers. You've got the trading status to say if they're on hold or not, and then the total of outstanding invoices that you've selected, credit limit and the credit remaining. We are going to enhance this screen further. So we'll have the financial contact, email and telephone number in this grid as well. So your credit control person can easily see who they need to contact for these outstanding debts. If the customer can't pay and you decide you want to put some of these customers on hold, then we can highlight several at once and we can say, let's put these 2 customers on hold at the bottom here and update the status back to the company record. So from now on, at this point, if the sales reps decide to put an order on for those companies, it will flag up a big red exclamation mark to say this customer's on hold, and it will stop them from authorizing that sales order until they request that you take them off hold. If we back in the invoice lookup, have a look in here, we've got some extra fields that are available. So you can actually look up your payment reference or payment receipt number that is stored in your payment gateway. For example, Paya, authorized.net or Stacks. You'll see your card payment references if the customer has paid on card for any of your invoices. Sometimes a customer may pay for several invoices at once, maybe on the web or when you come into your pay invoices button in client. And if they've made one payment for several invoices, you can search for that reference in here, press search, and you'll see all the invoices that were paid with that one payment. So it's really easy to reconcile from here now. Another request we had was on the credit side of things. People asked if we could pull back the status of the credit. So similar to invoices, we pull back the payment status of an invoice from QuickBooks. However, in terms of credits, it's whether it's allocated or not. So it will tell you if the credit has actually been allocated to invoices already and what balance is left. It also shows the modified date of when the balance pulled back and the financial ID. So this tells you there is a linked credit in QuickBooks, so it's easy to see that. These fields get updated on posting to QuickBooks, and you can also press this button to refresh to get that more up-to-date balance. So that's some of the credit control features we've got in invoices and credits. Next thing to show you is in our web store. If you're using the web store, your customers who have permission to see invoices will have the invoices section over here or through the dashboard. And customers can now, sorry, let me go back in. Customers can now filter on whether they see all invoices or just their own. So back in here, in the invoices area, you've now got this drop down here. By default, it shows all invoices for the company. But if they just want to filter on their own and not see everybody else's, if they have quite a lot of invoices in there, there's a nice filter. And when you click on an invoice, if we go to the bottom, you've always had these options to resend and to print the invoice from here. Resending the invoice will send it again from Prima Client with the default custom layout that customer has. But the print option has been improved. So it now prints like an official invoice with your logo and address, etc. on here. Oops. My buttons at the top are in the way of everything. I can't get off. Here we go. Okay, so some of our nice enhancements on the till we're going to look at now. For those of you who've used the till, you may have the beta release, but some of you may be thinking about using the till, and we have a lot more features in here. Not just this release, but there's a lot more that's gone in over the months. So if you're interested in using it, please give us a call. Some of the general improvements we've made are in the search item. There's now a multi-search, so it's quick to enter the item code or the description straight away, less clicks. And also on your barcode scanning, if your barcode exists in several catalogs and stock codes, it now prioritizes the PG number, i.e. if you've got it as a stock code, it will just pull back the stock code, so the main code that you use, or it'll pull back your catalog item code in priority order. So it's much better. It works on a variety of numbers now, so it doesn't matter what your barcode is. It's much more robust if you're using the barcode scanner. You can also set multiple barcodes against a particular product and unit now as well. So if we go back into client in one of our products here, just under your product unit tab, at the bottom, you've got a barcode area. So you can add several barcodes as long as you put a comma in between. So you can type barcode, comma, and then another barcode. So either of those barcodes would scan and bring up this particular product and unit. You can scan straight into this field as well if you're going through and fixing some of them. We also have the ability to use multiple credit cards on checkout now. And you'll see the list prices included in here on the grid, and we can reduce quantity much easier. So previously you had to take the item off and add the right quantity, but now we can just highlight the product, press quantity, and we can change that to a lower value. If I go back to the home screen, Sorry, my buttons are getting in the way. Go back to the home screen. You've got your open till button at the top there now, and the end of day report has also improved. So we've got the till name at the top of each page, and we've got a nice summary breakdown of payments, for example, what was paid in terms of cash, credit cards, gift cards, etc. If you would like to use a security pin for your cashiers to see who was last modifying an order, we can set that up for you as well. So every time you open an order or create a new order, you can have your cashier type in a 4-digit pin here. It is optional, so if you want to turn that on, you go over to your administration, into your system keys, till system keys, and it's this one here, pin required to access the till. So that's set to no as before, but if you turn that on, you just need to go over to your users and give them all an individual 4-digit pin. So we can go into Joan, for example, and we'll say her pin number is 3333. So next time she is in the till, she has to enter her pin each time she creates a new order or modifies one or opens the till, so we know who's had access to that area. Password on the left is still the one for client, but the pin on the right is only for the till use. I save that. So every time you complete an order, it will auto log the cashier out. And then, as we just saw here, I double clicked on an order and I have to put my pin in to get in now. And it will know, if I just go back now, it will know that that was Joan. See at the top. Did I just close it? It will show you your creator in here now as well. I think we're going to be adding some extra columns in here, and we'll be changing that to cashier to show that was the last person who modified or took the payment, which is the key thing really, who took the payment of the order. In terms of printing in the till, previously cash sales always printed a receipt invoice, but now you can choose if you want your cash orders and trade orders to default to a full invoice or to a receipt invoice. So back in your till system keys, you can set your trade customer to default to a full invoice or receipt invoice here, and you can set your cash customer default to print full or receipt invoice as well. You may actually want your individual customers to have something different to the default. So you could have maybe the receipt invoice for everyone by default, but certain customers can be set individually as well. So if we go into a company, go into the customer tab, and you'll see at the bottom next to produce till invoice, it will just normally have the default here, but you can change that to something different to the default. So that particular customer will always get a receipt invoice if they prefer that. You can also choose if you want your trade customers to receive a packing slip when they complete an order on the till. So this is this option here. You can have it print the packing slip and invoice, just an invoice, or just a packing slip by default on the trade customers. Just to note, whatever you set in here, if you do complete an order without payment, so it doesn't have an invoice, it will just print a packing slip because there is no invoice available. Staying on printing, we've got a much easier way of reprinting invoices now, or finding the document you want to reprint from the till. So if you press the reprint button in here, you'll see we've got a lot more search options. So if you knew a customer came in last week, but you didn't have the invoice number, you could search on the company name or even an item code if it was a cash sale on a particular date. Set your date over here, put your item code in, and it'll bring up all the orders that they made on the till. And then you can choose your document you want to reprint. So if you want to print the packing slip, receipt invoice, full invoice, or credit, you just choose it there and double click the order. Something new that is only on the till at the moment, but is coming into Prima Client and the web store is very exciting. We can now set up gift cards in admin. So when you get this new release, even if you're not using the till, you can start setting some gift cards up, but they do only work phase one on the till. I'm just going to show you how to do that now. And we will be showing you the next phase very soon. So in general and card schemes, we can set up some default gift cards in here. So I do a new one at the bottom. So say I wanted to give a customer a $25 gift card, just give it a name for the product of what you're going to sell. So I'm going to say I'm going to give them a gift card 25. You can choose here if it's going to be accepted on the web store or in client and till, but as I say, phase one is just the till. And if it's a monetary value, for example, $25, we do use a default point system. So the points are kind of number of cents. For example, if it's $25, you need 2500, because that's the number of cents on the card. So when the customer uses this for payment, if they have already used $24.50, you'll have 50 points left, which will equal the 50 cents left. So if we save this now, there are a lot of other fields in here, but I'm not going to go into them today because we will be showing that on a forum when we do the next phase for loyalty schemes and rechargeable cards. You'll see once I've just saved that, we do need to make a product so we can actually sell the gift card to a customer. So we'll press make product here, and that's going to create a new consumable product in client, which is going to be a gift card type of product. So Prima will know when you sell this, it is a gift card and it will need a unique number for each one that you sell. So I'm just going to press create product here, and that will now be in client. So if I want to sell that gift card, I can come over to Prima till, create an order. I've got some gift cards here. I'm just going to use a $100 gift card. So I want to sell that to a customer. I will need to give them a unique number for that gift card. If I press complete without giving it that number, it will remind you that it needs to be registered. So to do that, I just double click the line. And in this field here, I can give it a unique reference. This can be as short or as long as you like. So I'm just going to give it, this is a unique reference for this particular gift card. Save and close that. That does appear in the notes in the sales order in the back office as well. So if you do forget it, you can find it. And I'm going to complete that. Say they've given me $100 cash. And that customer now has that gift card, they've paid for it. You can, when you check out, you can also decide if you want to print an invoice or not print an invoice or actually email your invoices now. I'm just going to say no for there. So now that customer has a gift card, they can come back and use that whenever they want to make a payment in the till. So I just make a new order. Going to buy some folders. And if I complete that, I can now use gift card as a payment method. If we put in that gift card unique number, Prima knows that's the $100 one. I can press show balance and it will show me here how much the customer has left on that particular card. And then I just save and complete as normal. It's like a normal payment method. And it will show on your end of day report that this particular order was paid with a gift card. So that's some of the nice enhancements on the till. Going back to Prima Client now. I mentioned we have some new analysis reports. If we go over to the reporting area and reports, anybody that uses the Prima ones will know there's some spreadsheet reports, management PDF reports, and analysis ones, which are like pivot tables. This was quite slow at doing a lot of data and has been end of life, so it's now unsupported. So we have replaced it with a new control, and you'll see all the default analysis reports that are in Prima have now got a second report on this new control. So you'll see a number 2 at the end of the new ones. If I just open Sales Analysis 2, for example, you'll see it's got a nice fresh look. All the attributes are the same. So anything that you used to see on the left is now on the right, and you can still drag and drop what you want to see into your rows or your columns. So if I just drag in the nominal, for example, into my row, you'll see that pop up here. You can still move these around as you want them to order them how you'd like to see it. And we can also add in a filter at the top. So if I maybe want to see everything for a particular business group, I can put that into my filter and click on that at the top left to say I only want to see results for these particular business groups. So yeah, still got all the same attributes here for your values, etc. And now it's much easier to export a lot of data. So you can just press your export data button and put that into Excel and work with a large amount of data in there. So they were the main things I wanted to show you today. Obviously with any new release, we will have lots of smaller enhancements, for example, new fields, grid manager, lookups, etc. We have a new Giza import type as well. So we will be sending out the full release notes so you can go through them and have a look at what's relevant to you. But I will now open the floor for questions and unmute everybody if you'd like to see anything else.